What up? What up? What up? We had to start the stream over. Again, sorry I was late, but I was listening to this sermon about finances and about tithing and everything. So I had to get through that before I got on here. So, but we here, man. We live. Welcome to another episode of Drop Balls Podcast. Today, we're gonna be talking about a few things. We're gonna be talking about since the details came about T. Higgins and Jamar Chase's contract, we're going to be talking about that and the Cincinnati Bengals as far as what else they need to do for that team. We also going to talk about Aaron Rodgers. We're going to talk about the quarterback carousel that's been going on in the NFL from free agency to the draft and everything that's going on with that. But as always, we also going to be playing some video games. So I'm about to pull the game up right now. I'm going to be playing in NCAA college football. Y'all saw me last week get smoked on every game I played, on every NCAA game I was playing. But we're going to play that today, get back to it again as we talk about, all the good things. Listen, man, if you watching me on Twitch, go follow me on YouTube. If you're watching me on Twitch, also hit that follow button because we are trying to get to what is it? We're trying to get to 50 followers by March 26th. I got 2 more days? Well, after today, I got 2 more days. That's my birthday, March 26th. I'm trying to get to 50 followers. And on YouTube, we're trying to get it up as well. So if you're on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And go follow your boy on Twitter. Go follow your boy on Instagram. Instagram is at dropballs_pod. Twitter is at dropballspod. Follow me on TikTok. What is my TikTok? Hold on. I believe. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm gonna get it for y'all. On TikTok, it's at dropballspod. So follow your boy on TikTok as well. And like I said, just hit those follow buttons, man. Just hit those follow buttons. And let's get to it. But yeah, we about to get to this game. And start playing. These are my little commits. My little commits ain't nothing crazy. Ain't nothing crazy right now. But like I said, let's get into it, man. Cause I gotta play Ohio State. Let's get to it. Can y'all hear the game? That's a little low. But yeah, you can hear it. Okay. All right. But yeah, so first I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers, right? Cuz for the past few years, it's been all these teams waiting on Aaron Rodgers I had to take the AirPod out cuz I just had it in just so I could hear how the stream sound on Twitch and stuff. But yeah, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers, man, because for the past few years, teams have been waiting on him on what he wants to do, on if he wanted to retire, if he wanted to play football, and and whatnot. First it was the Green Bay Packers, then it was the New York Jets. Now the Jets cut him, they released him. He's a free agent. He's been visiting. Well, I guess he's visited what the Steelers. I don't know who else I don't think he's really visited with anybody. Oh, I guess the Giants too. The Giants as well. But apparently he was holding out because he wanted to see what the Vikings were going to do. Which this man he's following Brett Favre's game plan to a T. Well, I won't say to a T because with New York, Brett Favre was only with the Jets for 1 year and then was with the Vikings for 2 years. This man, Aaron Rodgers, was with the Jets for 2 years. And I mean, granted, he did get hurt the first year, so it is what it is. But he was with the Jets for 2 years. And if he was to go to the Vikings, I would assume he would only be there for 1 year or whatever. But like I said, everybody's waiting on him. Everybody's waiting for him to see what he's going to do. The Steelers are holding out because they want to see what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. They apparently he was just meeting with them the other day. I think it was Saturday or maybe it was Friday. He was in the building in Pittsburgh, talking with the staff and everything. And apparently there's been a framework for a contract that's already been laid out and everything. But bro, my thing is he just be holding teams hostage. And I'm not going to say he was like, There was a lot of issues with that New York Jets team, and I mean that's the thing, it's the Jets, so there's always issues with the Jets. But he wasn't that great last year to be, and I get it, it's name recognition, right? It's Aaron Rodgers. Oh my God, Aaron Rodgers is what, 4 or 5 time MVP, NFL MVP. What can he bring to our team? Ooh, damn, I should have stayed to the outside. But what can he bring to our team, right? And I get that. But this ain't the Aaron Rodgers that was, that was winning MVPs. This ain't the same Aaron Rodgers. This ain't the same one. And we saw that last year as far as like he's on the other side of that hill. He's on the other side of that hill to where, listen, man, he ain't there yet. He's on the other side of that, or he's not there anymore. I should say, not he ain't there yet because he'd have came and passed. But he's not there anymore. He's on the other side of the hill, and he's just holding these teams hostage, man. Like, and it's QB needy teams, right? Like it's teams that need a quarterback, that know they need a quarterback in order to compete. Like I said, the Steelers, the Giants. I don't think the Browns were one of the teams, and apparently the Vikings aren't interested. The Vikings do want to add, a veteran quarterback, but I think, they trying to give the keys to JJ McCarthy. And I think I saw something the other day about how they were talking with Ryan Tannehill, talking to him about, possibly playing there, or, being JJ's backup or whatever, coming in to help JJ, whatever, to be the vet quarterback that they need. So yeah, it's just crazy. And it's crazy how this is going. And again, I mean, they waiting on Russell Wilson too. Like he's not it's not only Aaron Rodgers. They waiting on Russell Wilson as well. And I don't know if Russ is waiting to, I don't know what Russ is waiting for. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is waiting for either. I mean, shoot, either you want to play football or you don't. It's no, oh, we gonna wait this thing out. We gonna take 4 weeks. Of course it's holding. But so Aaron Rodgers, we waiting on him. And it's one of those things where it just seems like it's like, oh, I just want all the focus. I want everybody, oh, look at me. Aaron Rodgers, look at me. I want people to wait on me. That's just what that's what it gives off. And that may not be what it is, but that's what it gives off, that, it's oh, I'm Aaron Rodgers. You should wait for me. You should bow at my feet because I'm Aaron Rodgers, man. And I'm not with it. I'm not with it. If I was the Steelers, I would move on. I would really just try to find my quarterback in the draft and go with that. Granted, they ain't been able to draft quarterbacks well. Since Big Ben retired, I mean, they had Kenny Pickett. They had Mason Rudolph as a starter. They drafted Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny was a first-round quarterback, if I remember correctly. He was in the first round. Then they just, they tried Justin Fields. They let him walk and go to the Jets. And that's another thing we're going to get into about just all the quarterback changes that's been happening in the NFL, or like, quarterbacks going to different teams and everything. But they let Justin Fields walk in free agency, which to me is kind of crazy. I would have probably, look, Justin Fields may not be the greatest quarterback. I do think he's serviceable, and he's proven that at the teams that he's played. He's still a work in progress. But I think the Steelers should have stuck it out with him. And matter of fact, yeah, let's just get into the quarterback carousel, because Aaron Rodgers is all a part of that anyway. But I think they should have stuck it out with Justin Fields. I think they should have, given him a year to where he can fully start. Because granted, they weren't putting up no crazy numbers when he was the starter, but they were winning games. I think the first game they lost was to the Colts with Justin Fields as a starter. But like I said, they were winning games. They were playing good enough to win. The defense showed up, and the offense was playing, just good enough to score more points than the other team, right? So, they were doing some things. Did he need to be better? Of course. He needed to play better. But like I said, they were winning games, and I think they should have gave him more time. That's just me personally. I saw the Giants sign Jameis Winston. The Giants signed Jameis Winston. I'm pretty sure he was going to be depending on what happens, if they get Russ, then yes, Jameis is the backup. If they don't get Russ, and Russ, let's say, goes to the Browns or something like that, then I think Jameis is the starter. But me personally, I think Russell Wilson's going to the Giants. I think Russ is going to the Giants. I think Aaron Rodgers ultimately will end up in dang, I missed that tackle. Defense ain't my forte. But I think Aaron Rodgers ends up with the Steelers. And yeah, I think that's how it plays out. And then, of course, in the NFL draft, I think that the Titans are gonna take my boy Cam Ward, which I really don't like. I don't really like that. But just because they're divisional rivals, it ain't because I don't think Cam Ward is good or is bad or anything like that. It's just because they're divisional rivals, and I don't want a divisional rival getting a former Miami product. Because I'm telling y'all right now, if the Titans get him, he's trash. I will slander him. He's trash. Whether true or not, whether my true feelings or not, which they aren't my true feelings, I don't think Cam Ward is a bad quarterback. I actually think Cam Ward is really good. He was the bright spot on the Miami Hurricanes this past season because our defense was terrible. Our secondary was bad. Anytime Cam Ward and the offense would go down and score, our defense felt, hey, just like right now, with Cincinnati, our defense felt, hey, let them get it back. Let it get it back in blood. I appreciate the follow, TJ. Appreciate the follow, but let them get it back in blood, So I'm not, like I said, I will slander him. It ain't gonna be nothing crazy, like nothing off the wall. It's just gonna be, listen, man, he don't do this well. He played too much hero ball, things like that. It's nothing crazy, no, no, nothing insane. But yeah, I'm just gonna slander him. That's all, because he's gonna go to the Titans, and if he goes to the Titans, that's what it is. Where did I have Shador going? I can't remember where I had. Oh, yo, there we go. Miscommunication. They all ran into each other. Where I had shit. Hold on, I gotta look because I made a list of where I think these quarterbacks are going. I put it on Twitter the other day. Like I said, go follow your boy on Twitter at DropBallsPod. Hold on, let me find it. Oh, I said I think Shador is going to the Browns. So yeah, I do think Shador ends up going to the Browns at number 2. Russ goes to the Giants. I think, well, and see, I had Jackson Dart going to the Giants in the 2nd round, which I still could see that happening because they signed 2 vet quarterbacks, right? They signed Jameis and they signed, they haven't signed Russ yet. So if they signed 2 vet quarterbacks, I did have Jackson Dart going to the Giants. I don't know how likely that is now, but I mean, I could see it because, again, if they signed Russ, they would have gotten 2 vet quarterbacks. And so then you got to have your rookie because you got to get your young guy in there. And if you let Jackson Dart sit, if maybe a year, something like that, then, there you go. You let him sit a year, learn the NFL game, learn how to be a pro, and then you ease him into the game or then you get him into the game the next year. Or, if push comes to shove, you ease him into the game this year. You ease him into some playing time. And then again, like I said, Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. God dang, they reading that play like crazy. But Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. And I think that's how that's gonna look when it's all said and done. As far as like some of these other quarterbacks in the draft, I don't know where they're gonna go because to me, they're not really starting caliber quarterbacks. They're more so guys that you will see as career backups and second stringers. So I don't. There we go. Boom. Oh, we out of there. But yeah, so I don't know where the other guys are gonna go. Not really concerned with them. It's just Shador, Cam, and Jackson are the top 3 quarterbacks in this draft. And to me, they're the best quarterbacks in this draft. I know everybody's talking about Tyler Shaw, but to me, that boy looked like Davis Mills with just a slightly better arm. He plays. I just don't think he plays to the level that you want in an NFL quarterback, and especially at 25. I said this last year about Will Levis that at 25 you pretty much are who you are. I'd rather get a young quarterback that can come in and learn the game, which is why I'm glad which I'm okay with us taking AR because he was so young and so raw. But at 25, a quarterback at 25, a quarterback at 25, he caught up to that like crazy. But a quarterback at 25, I mean, there's not like your floor is cool and your ceiling probably ain't that high. That's my opinion. And I could be wrong, but that's my opinion. But yeah, so those are the quarterbacks, that's where I think these quarterbacks are going to land. I don't know if maybe y'all have difference of opinion, but just me, that's where I think these quarterbacks are going. I think they think the first two teams they get their franchise guy. The Giants possibly get their franchise guy in the second round. Um, and of course, they add Russell Wilson, and then it still is add the old man Rodgers, man, Mr. Rogers neighborhood. I don't know how that's going to turn out. To me, the Steelers are just one of those teams that they are a solid team. I mean, what they went and signed DK, they still got GP over there. Or they didn't sign him, they traded for DK. They still got GP over there and stuff. Um, oh my God. But the Steelers are just one of those teams that to me is like they just need a quarterback. And I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is that guy. I'd rather them invest in a young guy and let that young guy really learn and do his thing. But, you know, it, they say win now, but like you've been like 9-8. I don't know, the past few years, making the playoffs and getting your butts whooped in the first round, in the wild card round. So yeah, I mean, I really don't know. Um, but yeah, I mean, like last week I talked, yeah, I really don't know. I mean, shoot, in the Colts, what we signed Daniel Jones. I talked about that last week, talking about us signing Daniel Jones. That was it is what it is. If you want to know my opinions on that, just go back and listen to the show last week. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of it, but whatever. And there's no way that linebacker caught me. My running back is like bro, this game, man. But my players can't catch certain players. It is what it is. Um, but yeah, man. Look, I wanted to talk about this last week, but I didn't have the numbers. I didn't know what the numbers were. But like as far as contract structure, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen because I did get it, or I did see it on Spot Rack. It did come up, but Jamar Chase and T Higgins, they got paid. T got what? Where is it? What's his? Yeah, T got 4 years, 115 million, average salary of 28.7, and 30 million guaranteed at signing. God damn, 30 million. We're gonna try that again. I know it's probably not smart, but we gonna try this again because this should have worked. Um, Hold on, let me get it to the play. All right, so he got 30 million guaranteed at signing and 40.9 million guaranteed totally. First year cap hit 26.5 million. Now, and that didn't work. Now we about to see. Now this is where it all goes downhill. I promise you, this is where it all goes downhill. And the crazy thing is, I don't lose unless I'm streaming. When I'm not streaming, I be winning. So I don't know what it is. And this is on Heisman. This is our me and some of my homeboys' little franchise, or not franchise, but whatever it's called, dynasty. That's what it is. That's what it is in college. All right, so 26.56 million. That's a hell of a cap hit. Now what's Jamar? Because hold on, I need to pay attention. Hold on, we'll get back to it. All right, let me pause this real quick. All right, so now let's look at Jamar Chase numbers because I know he had that 5th year option, and maybe that's why they paid T a little bit more because they know Jamar got the 5th year option, so they don't really have to worry as much with his contract. Although that's a lot of money, man. Year one. This is why I don't like Spot Rack sometimes. Hold on, can y'all even see what's up? Can y'all see the? Nope, it's not up there. Hold on. Let me go back. I forgot to do that. There we go. All right, so okay, now this is Jamar Chase. Let me go back to T Higgins real quick so y'all can see what I was talking about, because I forgot to share the screen. All right, so T Higgins contract, first year, cap hit 26.56 million. 4 years, 115 million, 28.7 million average salary, 30 million guaranteed at signing, 40.9 million guaranteed totally. So this was, let's see, hold on. The signing bonus is in A. In A? That don't make no sense. Hold on. Let me get out my calculators and do some calculations. For okay, yeah, this don't. He didn't get a signing bonus. There's no way he didn't get a signing bonus. Yeah, there's no way. I gotta go back and look, but yeah, there's no way unless Let me do this because over the cap usually be a little bit better. They're usually a little bit better with their stuff. I like Spot Rack because they kind of break it down a little bit better. Where the Bengals at? There you go. They kind of break it down a little bit better, but all right. So let me see. Here we go. All right. So they gave him a $15 million signing bonus. At least that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like on here. $15 million signing bonus. 71.2 million, in base salary. First year. Okay, so this says first year cap hit is 24 million for 2025 for T. Higgins with a $15 million signing bonus, which that signing bonus, they give you that money up front. That money comes to you right away. They just are able to prorate that through at least 5 years, at most 5 years. So they're able to prorate that, so that way they don't take on one big cap hit at the beginning of the contract. All right, so now Jamar Chase's, because like I said, Jamar has that 5th-year option, and it looks like he's coming in a little bit. He got 19 million guaranteed, or 19 million, or no, $23 million cap hit this year. 19 million is his guaranteed salary, so that's going to be, of course, his signing bonus, which was 22 million. He got a $10 million roster bonus, $1 million per game, 100,000 workout bonus. He's guaranteed 19.1 million in salary, and his cap hit is 23.5. His cap hit, I believe, is all of this together. Let me get the calculator. I'll do some calculations. Oops. I'm not a contract guru, so I don't really try to talk in depth about it, but just trying to put the information out there since it's out there. Oh, plus the 100,000. Yeah, so his cap hit, his cap number is all of this combined. It's all of that. The workout bonus, the per game bonus, which it's not $1 million. I don't believe it's $1 million per game. What I believe it is since it's 17 games, it's a $58,000 check per game if he plays. I think the $10 million is just him being on the roster, but so he'll get that. And then again, he has his signing bonus, which again is prorated up to 5 years, which you see that the first 5 years of his contract, and then the last 2 are void years. So that leaves the Bengals, and we saw, they still got what's his name? What's the old boy name? Not Sam Hubbard. I can't even think of his name. Dang, I can't. That's crazy because I wanted him on the Colts. Well, I am tripping. I'm off my game today, but it's okay. We're gonna get back right. We're gonna get right. We're gonna get back right. Trey Hendrickson. There we go. They still gotta pay Trey. Well, they don't have to pay him. It's not like they have to pay him. And he has an $18.666 million cap hit this year. He has 1 more year left on his contract, and he wants to be paid. He saw guys like Danielle Hunter get extensions. He saw guys like Myles Garrett get extensions. And I believe for the last 2 years, they've led the league in, or he's led the league in, sacks. So he wants to get paid. They have about, it looks like, where are they at? $20 million in effective cap space. I believe that includes the rookie the rookie, where is it at? The rookie or the draft pool, which the Bengals have to set aside. Where are they at on here? Here we go. So they had to have at least 3.4 million in cap space to sign all of their rookies. So, yep. Okay. So that does include the rookie pool because that takes the 3.4 million out of there. So that does include the rookie pool. They have about $20.5 million in cap space. So they could give him a little, a little uppage. But the thing is, too, if you give Trey Hendrickson some more money, we saw what their defense looked like last year, right? And they've lost players. They've lost a lot of players. And we saw what their defense looked like last year. And I'm not saying their defense is going to be bad this year. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they don't have a plan in place either, because I don't know. I'm not in those rooms with them. But they lost players. They lost their defensive. They fired a defensive coordinator. And why is he in the back of the end zone wide open? Anyway, they lost players. They fired a defensive coordinator. So now you have to replace. You have to replace, and their defense wasn't good last year. So unless the new defensive coordinator comes in and changes things drastically as far as like making this team able to get things done in a way that, or this defense to perform in a way that they didn't perform last year, you gotta rebuild. You gotta replenish the cupboard, man. You gotta get some more talent in that defensive room, whether it's the defensive backfield, defensive line, whatever. And so that's one of the things where if you re-sign Trey Hendrickson or give him an extension, which I'm thinking he's going to get somewhere around like 35 million, 35 million annually. How do you really, I mean, what, you going to up his salary by, what is it? I said 35 by like 17 million. It's a lot, especially when you only got 20 mil left in the bank. That's quite a bit. So what do you do? Like, what do you do if you, God dang, what do you do if you're the Bengals in that situation? And apparently they want a first round pick for him, which in my opinion, if I'm going to pay him, and I'm going to pay him upwards to 35, between 35 to 38 million a year in an extension for a 30-year-old player, someone who I believe will be 31 sometime this year before the season starts. I believe he'll be 31 this year. Maybe it's next year. But if I'm going to pay him, and I can't give you a first round pick for him. Like, I'm sorry. If I have to pay him that much money and I have to extend him and he's an older player, you're not getting a first round pick for him. So while the Bengals do have some leverage, I think a team that trades for him has more leverage over the Bengals in this situation, just because the player isn't happy. The player isn't happy. The franchise doesn't necessarily want to pay him. Oh, I was almost there. The franchise doesn't necessarily want to pay him. So you have a little bit of leverage in that situation. Now, is it going to work out for a team? Is it going to work out for the Bengals to do it or whatever? Who knows? Because as of right now, they have not paid him. From what we heard before is that they were talking, but then Chase and T came out, they contracts came out. So I don't really know if he's going to get the money that he wants. And I don't know how you structure that. I really don't know how you would structure that, especially in the situation that they're in when it comes to just in the situation that they're in right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how that whole thing plays out. I would love for the Colts to get him, but at 35 to 38 million, it really doesn't make sense, especially, oh my God, especially when we already have so much money invested into our defensive line. And then as of right now, after this season, we don't have a defensive end on roster besides Latu. So to me, it just doesn't make sense to go pay Hendrickson all that money as well as giving up, draft compensation, unless the draft compensation made sense and Trey Hendrickson took a pay cut somewhere maybe around like 25 mil or something like that. Not a hometown discount, but some kind of like, oh, y'all got my former defensive coordinator, y'all got my former defensive line coach from college. Hey, I come play for y'all on the low ski. Then it makes sense. But if he ain't gonna do that, then that's a no-go. It's a no-go for me. And I was one of the people that wanted him. I really did. I wanted him in Indy, but if we can't get him on, like I said, on the free ski, on the cheap ski, no thank you. Then I'll take my chances elsewhere. Boy, you slow. Maybe your acceleration just bad, but god dang. But yeah, so we gotta they gotta figure that out. Like I said, they do have to replenish the cupboard over there on the defensive side of the ball. You have the weapons now. You still got T. You keep T. You keep Chase. So we know you can score the ball as long as Joe Burrow is healthy. We know that the Bengals can score with anybody. Hell, I believe we saw them put up 40-something points in a game last year and still lost because their defense was just bad. So, and I don't think that, to me, that's not on Lou Anarumo, because we've seen what a Lou Anarumo defense looks like. We saw it when they went to the Super Bowl. We've seen it the past few years, whatever before this year. So I don't think that's on him. I think that's just on the lack of talent they have on the defensive side of the ball. And now you have to replenish that talent. You have to replenish that talent because it's not there. It's just not there. And you have to me, because you're not really going to be players in free agency now, because like I said, you got $20 million left. So to me, this draft has to be all defense for the Bengals. You got to go all defense for the Bengals. You can't go offense. I mean, you can go offense maybe in the later rounds, but in the first few rounds, you got to be thinking defense. God, can we block? First few rounds, you got to be thinking defense. You gotta go all in on the defense, because you just gotta replenish. You gotta replenish, because if you don't, and you run the same things out, the same players out there as you had last year, I don't think it's going to be good for you. Come on, bro. Come on, man. This game isn't as bad as Madden, but this game is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. My offensive line had been holding up for most of the game until it wasn't. They've been doing well for most of the game until it was not. So yeah, with those contracts and all of that, I do think they have to go defense. And I mean, there's some players. I think there's some players. Where did they pick at? I gotta look at where they pick real quick. Let me bring this back up, because I do want to see where they pick. We go to Tankathon. It's the 2025 draft order. Okay, the Bengals are at 17, so they're a few picks behind us. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if the Colts traded back to 17. Let Cincinnati trade up. Let them get their defensive player, whether it be a DB, because I mean at 17 you can still probably get a quality DB. Maybe they want Revel from ECU. What's his name? Siobhan? I believe that's his name. Yeah, Siobhan Revel. Maybe they want him out of ECU. Maybe they want a Will Johnson. Maybe who else could they get? Maybe they thinking about trading up to get a Mike Green, because maybe, hey, look, Trey Hendrickson, you're gonna play on this last year and we letting you go. We got Mike Green waiting waiting back there. He in the echo chamber or whatever it's called. He in there waiting, getting ready for his time. Maybe that's what they do. I just throwing names out there. I'm not saying those are the names those are the people they're gonna draft, but I'm saying maybe they looking at a player like that and like, hey, let's trade up a little bit, And if I'm Indy, I take that, because we only got 7 picks this year, and our GM's like, look, man, the more darts you got to throw at the dartboard, the more likely you're to hit. The better your odds. I don't know. Since he might not want to do that, they only got 6 picks. They might be looking to trade back too. I ain't gonna hold you. Since he might be looking to trade back, but I'm just saying, like, if they wanted to move up, that's a possibility to maybe get a defensive player that you like or the defensive player that you want. And maybe they can sit back there at 17 and wait for him too. And you know, that's always an option. But yeah, it's just interesting how they've built this team. And I mean, I know, Cincinnati fans are happy, and I mean, I think you keep your quality talent there. Especially on the offensive side of the ball, and especially if it makes your quarterback healthy or happy, not healthy. Especially to make your quarterback happy, man. I almost said so, bro. So yeah, I think you keep your premier talent there. But it's just one of those things where it's like you paid all this for your receivers and your quarterback. They gotta make something happen now. Okay. And you saw my linebacker just get depleted. But they gotta make something happen now. So we'll see what happens. It's still a long off season. We still got what next month is the draft. There's still a lot of free agents out there that will probably take some vet deals. I saw it the other day. Let me go. I'm going to the list because it's still some quality free agents out there in the market. So of course, Aaron Rodgers. I don't care about the receivers, but you still got C.J. Mosley out there. You still got and they revamped the offensive line. You still got Von Miller, Zadarius Smith, who I believe needs to retire. I just don't think he has it anymore. Maybe he can go somewhere else, and I don't know. Still got Matthew Judon. Justin Simmons is still out there. Julian Blackman's still out there. Rasul Douglas, Calais Campbell, which he's still a baller. Calais Campbell's still a baller. Will Hernandez, I believe, is a linebacker. And then you still got EJ Speed out there, former Colt. So there's still some options out there that they can probably, some quality options that they could probably get on, that veteran discount, or that vet man. So they have options. It's just a matter if they're going to be able to get it done. Because, like I said, $20 million ain't a lot of money. Well, if I had $20 million, that's a lot of money. But for, in the NFL, when you're paying out these contracts, that's not a lot of money. And that boy is whooping my centers. He whooping my center. I said I was going to try to stop cussing. So here we are. It's tough. But said I was going to try to stop. So I'm trying to stick to that. Oh, yeah. That hole was wide open. Oh, I mean, I got a couple viewers. I got a few viewers. If y'all got some questions, y'all can ask. Ask. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to ask. Open to answering questions for sure. Open to answering questions for sure. What's another thing? I don't really want to talk NBA today. It's nothing to really talk about. Although I did win some money. I did win some money in NBA the other day. So I'm happy about that. But football is my life, man. Football is love. That joint is king. Oh, bro. Man. Come on now. I got that ball off before he hit me. But I know what this game. I know how this game is. Now I ain't gonna hold you. Oh, Stephon Gilmore's still out there too. They can still go get Stephon Gilmore. I ain't gonna hold you. Oh yeah, let's go. Take the top off. I ain't gonna hold you. I wouldn't mind Julian Blackman back, but I know Ju ain't gonna come back and try to be a backup. With us going to go get Cam Bynum, that kind of made Julian Blackman expendable. And I know he's not gonna want to come back and be a backup on the Colts and back up Cam Bynum and Nick Cross. So that's highly unlikely. But that would be I think that would be a good pickup for the Bengals. Who they have at safety right now? Who the Bengals got at safety? Hold on. I want to see Bengals depth chart. Let me get back to the game real quick before. So the Bengals at safety, they got Jordan Battle and Geno Stone. Uh, I think Julian Blackman could go in there and take Battle spot. Really, what I think they need is some corners. I think they need some corners. They need linebackers. I don't know if they let Jermaine Pratt go. I know they was talking about letting him walk, or not letting him walk, but letting him, releasing him. I don't know if they actually do that though. They also talked about trading him as well. Again, I don't know if they actually do that, because right now, I mean, and I'm sure Bengals fans know better than I do, but I just don't see a linebacker on that team outside of Logan Wilson that I'm trusting. I mean, Jermaine Pratt and Logan Wilson are probably the only two linebackers on that team I'm trusting. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure I let him go. Whether it's trade or release, I'm not sure I do that at all. They gotta figure it out on defense. They might even, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they even went and got a defensive tackle or or like I said, another defensive end. I wouldn't be shocked at any of that in the first round or the first 2 rounds. Going edge and then going maybe going edge linebacker or defensive tackle linebacker, or shoot, if what's his name, Jahad Campbell's there, I could see them even going to get Jahad Campbell in the first round, or maybe a guy like Swessinger in the second round. Like these are all things I could see them doing, and I just wouldn't be shocked. Here we go. We got to get a stop. We got to get a stop. We got to get off the field, get the offense back out there, so that way we can tie this game up. Either tie the game up. See, I can't get back there in time, but they defense, everybody else's defense can get back there in time and hit my quarterback and mess up the whole screen. That's not, see, man. That's the stuff I be talking about, dog. Let's go. Let's go. Light work. Light work. Let's get to work. We gotta win this game. We can't afford to lose this game. But yeah, I mean, shoot, that's really all I had to talk about. I didn't really have much, there's not much going on in the football world right now, the football space. So, I'm trying to keep the content coming and trying to keep up with the times and everything, but there's not much going on. Like I said, basketball's going on, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not, like I said yesterday, I like basketball, but I'm not really a basketball guy. And maybe, maybe next week or something like that, or not next week, but maybe, in a couple of days, I'll come up here and talk about who I have for the awards. Because like I said, I watch basketball. Just not a big basketball guy, But yeah, I just, I try to keep up with football a lot more and what's going on in the NFL. Yeah, they trying to burn the clock. They trying to burn the clock on me. We got to be able to get the ball back. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Right on the line. So yeah, that's all I had. But I'm gonna finish this game out. So y'all stick around. I'm gonna finish this game out. And then after this game, I'm gonna probably end this stream and then switch over and play 2K or something. I actually, I kind of want to do play 2K, but I gotta re-download it. Yeah. Let's lock in. And of course, everybody's blocked. I can't make this up. They gonna throw it on third down. What coverage we gonna play? We gonna go. I want to go down. And I want to do a cover 3. This is probably the wrong thing to do. But for me, yeah, this is what I want to do. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get off the field. We got to end this with a dub. Hey, right there at the right time. Knock the ball loose. Ooh. Give me some good field position. Give me some good field position. Now let's see if we can make this work. Like I said, I didn't know if it was the right one, but it was the perfect coverage. It's just what I needed. Safety ain't even get down in time. Oh. Let's go. Really, we just need to get in field goal range. But I'm trying to do more than that. I want to win. We want to win. We don't want to just get in field goal range. We want to win this game. No. Woo, woo. Boy, I was going to cry. Cause ain't no way the ball get tipped up like that. All right. First down. Oh, and more. There we go. Let's keep running this clock a little bit. We're gonna throw a little bit. I feel like I'm gonna throw an interception. I ain't gonna hold you. Nope, we're just gonna get sacked because nobody got open. I'm pretty sure my running back was open off in the flat or something, but yeah. All right. I want to see what safety drops down. Keep the running back in. We need as many bodies in here to block as possible. What up? We running slot fade again, but we're going to run it from a different formation. Again. Ooh, no. Keep the running back in the block. Yeah, say it with me. Oh, 6. That's 6. That's what I'm. Hey, put them to sleep. Now we just can't let them score. They got a minute left. We can't let them boys score. We up by 4. Up by 4. They can't let them score. Let's get it done. Let's rock out. But I appreciate y'all tapping in. You know, the live listeners, and even like the listeners that, you know, come back and listen afterwards. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Appreciate y'all rocking out with me. I think I went over this last week, you know, my fandom as far as the teams I'm a fan of. But I miss some. I left some out because I left the Miami Hurricanes out. I left the USC women's basketball team out. Because look, I'm a Miami Hurricanes men's basketball and football fan. Let's go. But yeah, Miami Hurricanes men's basketball and football fan, although the men's basketball team is terrible. But I am a USC women's basketball fan. USC women's basketball fan, and I'm a what is it? The Seattle Storm. I'm a fan of the Seattle Storm. I'm a fan of, let's see, do we have a cover 4 match? I believe we do. Palms. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go. Way to play that. But yeah, I'm a Miami Hurricanes men's basketball and football fan, USC women's basketball fan. I'm a Seattle Storm fan, Seattle, what is the team called? Kraken fan for hockey. And then who else? Yankees, of course. You know, most people know that. I'm a Yankees fan. I'm a Colts fan. It ain't even get to 0. It was still at 1. But I'm a Colts fan, Miami Heat fan. Yeah. And I mean, I'm from Florida, so like I get it. The Yankees and the Colts, people are like, what? But there's a reason for that. The Kraken fan and the Storm fan is because I live up here. And then the USC women's basketball team, just because I didn't really start, and I threw an interception the first play. I just kind of really started getting into women's basketball back in like 2020. And I was already here, so like that's why I became a Storm fan. And then I like Juju Watkins, so you know I'm a fan of Juju Watkins. So you know it was only natural that I went to the USC Lady Trojans. Man, Juju a hooper, she a baller, bro. Let's go. I can't believe I threw an interception right there. I think, and that was the first interception. I think that was my first interception of the game. And I picked him off twice. Insane. Bro, get out of here. That's not their last time out. And we're okay. I forgot. We're in Palm, so my safety went down. That's why the running back was able to go straight up the middle. It was wide open. I had to make sure the running back was back there. Or the linebacker was back there. I say last time out. Ain't no, bro. We're gonna run some man. Yeah, throw that away. You got 4 seconds, brother. You got 4 seconds, brother. We're gonna get back in prevent because they gotta get down the field. So we're gonna go man and then 3 deep. You gotta get to the end zone. You threw it out the end zone. 6 got some ups. Oh, I get sick of these bots coming in. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. Hey, that's how you come from behind and win. That's how you come from behind and get a dub. That's what you do right there. That's what you do right there. And like I told y'all, look, I wasn't gonna force anything. If I don't have nothing else to talk about, we just gonna stream and play the game. I'm not gonna force anything. I make my outline of what I want to talk about, and if that lasts a full hour, 2 hours, then it does. If it doesn't, then hey, we finish the game, we get out of here early. I start another stream with just me gaming. But I do, like I said, I do appreciate everybody that's listening. Make sure you continue to tap in with me. I'm definitely about to get off of this because I don't want my friends seeing who I'm recruiting. Like I said, this is a dynasty league, and I don't want them seeing who I'm recruiting. And look, see, I had a receiver. He was a 4-star. He's a 4-star recruit. He chose Ohio State, and I just beat them. He chose Ohio State over me. You chose Ohio State over me? All right. I mean, I get it. They're the number 10 team in the nation, and they just got beat by a 3-4 team. It's cool. It's cool. It is what it is. Hey, to each his own, my brother. Don't try to transfer in 2 years. But yeah, I wasn't going to force anything. We was going to let it happen organically, let it be natural. And we're going to continue to grind this out, continue to do our thing. Ain't no way he chose Ohio over me. Ohio, a 5-star recruit going to Ohio? All right. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all. Make sure to tap in with me. Go, follow me on all the socials, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all of that. Like I said, the Instagram name is @dropballspod or @dropballs_pod. The Twitter name is @dropballspod, and that's the same on TikTok @dropballspod. So go follow your boy. I drop content all over there, really on all the socials. The TikTok is more so just it's still sports and it's me gaming and stuff like that. And then same with the Instagram and just my personal life, me hanging out with my son, doing all these different things, all that stuff, all that good stuff. So make sure y'all go tap in on that and come back. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to hopefully have some more stuff for y'all. And maybe later on this week, I'm going to have a list of receivers for y'all to look at. And we may talk about that as well. And I'm not talking about the mainstream names. I'm not talking about the Isaiah Bonds, the Matthew Goldens, the Luther Burdens and the Ted McMillan and the Travis Hunters. I'm not talking about those names. I'm talking about names that people aren't really talking about. So, so make sure to tap back in with me this week and we're going to get into that. But until next time, y'all be easy. Like I said, I'm going to set up a stream after this, just probably playing 2K or something. I got to download it. So, just bear with me, time being.